And you're listening to 2GLF 89.3 FM, the Relationship Whisperer show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And we are coming live in the studio right now, and welcome back, Louis, to the studio.
Once again.
My co-host, once again. You've got to love it, don't you?
Oh dear.
Or it's more like going into battle, doing what's required.
Somebody's got to stand up for the blokes.
And especially regarding today's topic, I guess, we talked a lot about marriage in itself and so forth, what's required and that. But to get to that stage and actually to get to a relationship, we need to do, first things first is dating, don't we? Yeah, go through the courtship rituals and so forth.
All that
but
again.
Unfortunately, it's not like it was. It's not like what it used to be, wasn't it? I mean, like, look, modern dating is broken. And so how do we fix it? We're here to see if we can help. Because, today's from hookup culture to ghosting, dating today is a mess. So let's bring back the values that made marriage possible in the first place. So, the thing they're saying, you're swiping, you're talking, you're meeting, and then you're ghosted. So so you wonder, where are all the good men? Now, for those that are not familiar with the term ghosted or ghosting, it means basically cut the other person off. Silence. Giving them the silent treatment. And unlike what men say about women being angry, that's why they give you the silent treatment, this is kind of like not speaking to you at all, not because they're angry, I guess because they're lost interest or weren't really serious in the first place. So today on The Relationship Whisperer, we're talking about why dating is broken and why it's not your fault, and what to do if you actually want marriage in a world that runs from commitment. Isn't that the big thing?
That word, commitment.
Commitment, yes. That dreaded
Where's the
word.
door?
Where's the door? I mean, once upon a time, there's lots of things people are committed to, but it's, your career,
family,
your job, family, or whatever, even your pet dog or other pets, committed to keeping them or whatever. But one thing people are really afraid of is marriage or relationship commitment.
I wonder why.
Well,
Is it the track record?
Oh, look, once upon a time, dating used to be courtship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Basically courting the other one, but
There was chivalry,
get involved with
gallantry,
getting to know each other and so forth. And it was all, and it's those sorts of things that is on display in romance films and videos and movies.
Thankfully it's on display somewhere.
Well, that's why, why do you think why it's so popular with the ladies? They love those romantic comedies. That's the thing. That's why,
let's get a video. Let's get a romantic comedy. Oh, whoopee, I can hardly wait to get home.
Well, why did you think Pretty Woman did so well?
Well,
that was almost but they call those things chick flicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the historical Jane Austen adaptations.
Yeah.
And they're like Little Woman and
Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, that sort of thing. I think we covered it a little bit before.
I'll bet you have.
Yeah, in a prior show,
Yeah, I'll bet you have.
It's a universal known fact that a young man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife.
All right.
That was the opening line to that novel, that Jane Austen novel.
I wonder how many times that opening line has been memorized.
Well, by women.
Not many blokes.
But, besides, it was courtship once upon a time. But now it's more like vibing, hanging out, do you want to hang out? Rather than, would you like to go out? It's Totally different
Is
vibe.
it so? This getting to know you,
Getting to know
all about you.
and
It's like,
situationships.
how do I get away from you?
But you notice that people, when they use the word "I like to be independent" rather than "I want to be alone." It's different.
Uh-huh.
I don't think anyone.
You might have a point there.
No one actually says that I don't want anyone. I want to be on my own. Yes, there are people, but what I really say, I don't think anyone wants to actually be alone. Either physically or emotionally. I think that they're most when they state that I prefer to be alone. What they're really saying is I want to be independent.
You stink.
Or that too. As well, I'll stand in the other corner of the room. That happens. And I'll tell you, sometimes, people really do stink when you stand when you're near them. And to be polite, I always try to be polite and say, I find a reason to move to the other side of the room without making it obvious, because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Stinky.
Though sometimes people really need to be told that they do smell. They don't. They know. Often the people
you just hold your nose when you're near them.
People
you just hold both nostrils together with your fingers, and that usually gets the message.
Yeah.
You don't even need to speak. Hey, stinky.
Yeah. Now, apps have made people more disposable, haven't they? Especially those dating apps like Tinder and so forth.
It's all speed now, isn't it? It's like a drive-through.
Yeah, and like I think people don't value the meetings, the people that they meet anymore. Once upon a time, that was valuable. How you happen to meet someone, because it was hard to meet someone.
Yeah.
Come by them.
It was hard to meet people.
And now it's so easy. I mean, you have a date. You might not be into them for the most minorest of reasons. So, I didn't quite like his hair color or something like that. Because there's, when you get home, there's going to be another message in your inbox for another date, potentially another date.
Yeah, that's right. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not hard up.
You're not hard up
for meeting people.
Yeah, people then see
but it's meeting people of substance. That's where you're hard up.
But then people get used to it. So look, we're in a disposable society.
Very much
and it
so.
becomes like even, dates and partners and people become disposable. And people are taking things for granted and taking people for granted, and actually chances and opportunities for granted. So... people get rejected for the most superficial of reasons. I say, didn't like the person's hair color or something like that. And no one asks really, what are you looking for anymore? They just assume when you're on the dates that it's not too serious. Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Yeah, because dating before used to have a purpose. It used to be about choosing the right person for a permanent hookup or marriage back then. And now it's about avoiding rejection for as long as possible. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So people feel...
before the olden days, like a few decades ago, divorces were a rarity, and people, the whole community would sort of know about it, and but I think now that it's just so easy, isn't it? You could just almost apply online for a divorce or whatever.
Yeah, no-fault divorces. I think they came in the 70s. Yeah, no-fault divorces. But, I guess people also like the acceptance kind of thing. And the dating, almost like a self-validation of their self-worth. And this is the thing, also culturally, this is where there are differences. And a lot of Asian cultures, especially East Asian culture, they date for a purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically every date and every meeting is an assessment on suitability for marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you have a degree in?
Or that, well, not only that, but you don't, can't assess everything on one date, so they have multiple dates and continue, and up to a certain point, after a while, then... if you're still together, there's an expectation of marriage. or even the girl's parents, right? You've been dating our daughter for this long. Are you going to make a commitment? Are you going to propose or what? Don't waste the time. Her youth.
Yeah.
You're saying, and so you're obliged to say A or nay. So that was the situation, and even back in the old days, basically, if you were not a virgin, you could not get married.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, okay. You were not.
There was such a stigma to it.
You were not
wasn't it?
marriage material. I mean, for a woman, the best she could be is someone's concubine. If you're not a virgin,
good point.
and so women had their standards. They had to marry, and so for men, it forces them. Either you shape up,
grab them quick.
You shape up. You become marriage material, able to provide, because your options for men were to either you get married, or it's the brothel.
No, that was about it.
That's it.
And there was no sort of like
Because
casuals.
no woman,
there was no the casual
casuals,
aspect.
because no woman.
I heard an interview from like the 60s, and they were talking about the introduction of miniskirts into the UK, and all these women were lined up saying, "There's no way in the world. What kind of woman would wear such a thing as that?
What floozy, hey?
What floozy?" And it was like, what? I was shocked to hear these women. Like, it was like, what? Imagine if they were transported into now. Like, they go down to Bondi Beach or whatever, and people are wearing dental floss.
Well, so different cultures. I mean, like, look, in the West now, basically, it's dating is seen as, well, they date for entertainment. Not for any purpose, really.
True.
Yeah,
there's no end goal to it.
No end goal. So because of that, both participants to the date or thing, don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And don't know that really that's what the other person expects.
And they don't know, you see. And that's what the thing is that most women are really looking for marriage, really.
Yeah.
And men don't really realize it. Because men haven't got the pressing issue of the time clock. Whereas women do.
Younger.
Women keep that withheld, thinking that, if I say anything, the person will run away.
And often they're right. Okay. But the men then, either they're just so oblivious to that, or they know that they don't care.
Yep.
Or they play it. Kind of thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in relationship and so forth, and eventually go married. So just basically keep leading her on.
Well, they'll dabble in love looking for sex.
For sex,
whereas women dabble in sex looking for love.
Because I'll tell you, on those online dating profiles, women, those fine women say, yeah, want marriage or want kids. There's normally a question: do you want kids? Yes. And
they don't answer or whatever.
The
can
men
take either way or whatever.
Or no. Women almost always say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost always. The men, not necessarily. Either they don't answer the question, or it's always a yes. If they say no, they'll never get picked. Women will hardly ever.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, why would a woman pick a guy that doesn't want kids if she's after kids?
True, if she's after them.
But
a lot of them, I don't...
Or either say yes, or actually what they say is undecided. They allow that option. They actually, that's their out, kind of speak. They lie through that undecided, where in fact they really don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and this is another thing for women, like I say, like women would, I want kids, so I'll go out and find someone I can marry to have kids. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Men, on the other hand, they say, yeah, I love children if I find the right partner. People think it's the same. It's not. Totally different.
Yeah.
One side dates for a purpose to have kids, and at the best, the other party is blasé about it. Or if I happen to be in the mood,
if it happens,
Sophie.
It happens, okay,
so,
then I'll deal with it then.
Yeah, for a woman that wants children, you can't settle with that. You can't accept that response. That is a not good enough response. What it really means is he doesn't really want to. A no answer is an answer in itself.
True.
Yeah. And make marriage great means we first have to get through the dating stage. But people are being so casual about the dating nowadays, aren't they, Bluey?
Apparently so.
Yes. And you know what? I think casual culture has killed commitment.
Casual culture has
Casual culture. I
killed
mean,
commitment.
now what
That
we
sounds like a song, doesn't it?
now what we have is basically hookup culture. Yeah. Yes, and hookup culture rewards surface level attraction and fast results. Don't they?
Yeah.
So as hookup, it basically, they expect sex within
The first
first few dates, how many dates it is, and that
first
sort of
few
thing.
hours,
Or
perhaps.
sometimes first few hours, and then what's the point? It's basically like a hookup. It's all casual. So no one, women and the women, I guess, even those that really want a commitment, kind of like play along because they think if they push commitment, it makes them seem boring or too serious. Lighten up, have some fun. Yeah, right. But that's not what they really want, though. They go along, play along with it. Otherwise, they don't get chosen at all. Well, hardly ever, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's prevailing. And that's also why, with online dating profiles, they all look the same kind of thing. It's almost like you put the profile out as to what you think is going to attract attention and the most attention and would appeal to the most people. So you get many options. People contact. So, and I totally understand, but by doing that, then it kind of like you're not being honest about who you are, but also you're appealing to the wrong people.
Yeah, you're looking in the wrong places, perhaps.
Yeah. And so what we might end up having in a situation where, like 90% of women that want to get married versus like 10% of men that want to get married. And so you've got an issue. Matching. It's kind of like
That's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue. It's kind of like you say like 90% of women want the top 10% of men. As I say,
Yeah,
those
that's
are all
right.
marriageable.
They all want the top.
Top, but obviously the mass doesn't allow that. So either then they have to compromise and start going, instead of getting A grade, they might have to settle for B or C grade.
Yeah, they all want the knight shining on the trusty on the trusty steed, but they end up with some bloke with muddy boots on a donkey.
But you think you can think about, the high value guy. I mean, why would he pick you?
Well, that's one thing you see
Yes.
a lot. You see the thing that everybody considers that that they should be picked. And
They should be picked. I mean, I saw a little video about this with this guy. Yeah, it's only a short. He said, look, women like want a guy, a tall guy.
he's making $1 million a year.
He's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's in finance with beautiful blue eyes. I mean, if you want that, we're not unlikely to pick you. Who are the women that we go for? It's the one with the queue.
The one with the what?
One with the queue of men wanting her.
Oh, the queue.
The queue. Not a queue or bride queue, but a queue of men also wanting her because she basically she has value. I guess in an indirect way, that's what he was trying to say. Yeah, and what he's saying is true.
Well, it was mentioned the other day that Candace Owens, when she went on a date, the husband, her present husband, proposed in a very short period of time.
After 3 weeks.
After 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they hit it off. I mean, there's no,
Yeah, I'm not going to get much better.
You're not going to get much better, so you might as well.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting
men
around
are sort
for?
of like, they're on the freeway and there's an exit, that's the marriage.
Yeah.
Exit is like, I'll exit here, marry and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But, if I just go to the next turn.
Maybe
I'll just go 10 Ks down the road a bit further. There might be a better turn there.
Turn there, okay, yeah.
And so they just sort of keep traveling down that freeway.
But then you end up, all the other turns might be worse than that turn. And then you have regret, but you can't go back.
Yeah, you can't go back on the freeway.
Yeah, you can't go back. So men do miss out by being blasé as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the fear of missing out keeps people endlessly shopping, you know? You're right. Oh, maybe there's, something else better. You know, I don't want to settle. I mean, even though you might get along very well, you're kind of like, is there someone better out there for me or more suited to me? And so kind of like they don't really know. And for that reason, I do understand, but it's also the culture. I mean, men now don't feel any pressure to pursue women, are they? To pursue and do the courtship, they don't.
No, there's no. It's
because
radically changed.
Yeah, and I guess it comes down to women really, and because women feel exhausted trying to stay interesting, interesting to keep his interest all the time because they actually, even though societies change and what's perceived as good practice and so forth has changed, at the core of it, women still want to get married. It's just they're not allowed to express it anymore, or at least not without being mocked or ridiculed. They want.
But if they don't express it, you don't get.
They don't get.
There's an old saying: the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the oil.
Yeah. So, I mean, women doing that. Look, I remember, remember Demi Moore?
Not really, but I do. Yeah, I remember.
It was Bruce Willis's ex-wife, and she hooked up with that Ashton Kutcher, like some 12 or 15 years younger than her.
Even more.
Yeah, and so to keep a young man, because she's a much older woman, she just did her best, I guess, to try to hang on to youth and look as youthful as she could, and even agreed to a threesome with him. She said she did it, and later she admitted she didn't want to, but she did it just to show him that she was hip and happening and so forth. She was that's interesting.
But after that,
she regretted it.
Yeah,
she regretted it.
And also, he would probably respect her much less.
Yeah.
Even though it might have been tremendously exciting at that moment, but afterwards, for a long and lasting, that's the person you're going to spend a life with. Sitting on the balcony, whatever, and looking at the sunset.
Yeah. Allowing a third person
in. Just because she's lowered the morals.
Yeah.
The morals
and
it was probably
the price.
It's probably the bloke's fault for suggesting it in the first place and really, I really want that. But if she stood her ground and says, listen,
no.
I'm only for you and that's it. I just can't share you with anyone else because I love you and I don't love people and I can't do it without love. Otherwise
it's actually another woman.
All I am is a love mannequin. Yeah. It's just a mannequin. Just go and find a doll somewhere if that's all you're after. So the thing about it is that people are seeking their own release, their own. They've got their own focus in mind. They've got a beginning, middle, and ending.
Yeah.
In mind.
Yeah.
And so I think that the key to relationships is never mind. Meaning that you actually care for other people more than just as like thinking about yourself all the time. You see. And that's what's tremendously attractive.
Yeah.
You know what's really attractive to men?
What?
This is what women really don't understand. What's really attractive to men is a woman who is in this mode of, I remember it saying once that, that she sees the beauty of life. Like she says, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that tree beautiful? See how the sun's sparkling off the leaves? Or isn't that sea, isn't that coastline beautiful? Things like that where she brings in that nurturing and caring sort of side of her, the femininity. And men find that tremendously appealing.
But men don't
But they don't show it.
They don't express it. If you don't, so I guess that's the bane. Both sides are not expressing what they really want.
There's no rule book, and I think that people don't really know. That's why they need to listen to this show on 89.3.
They certainly do. I mean, that's the thing. I guess, men are, at least only the conservative side of the men are actually expressing, conservative commentators, male commentators expressing, yes, we want to see women as women. I mean, we want the feminine. We want to see the feminine, experience the feminine, and so forth. Whereas women are feminine in nature, but they feel a pressure to be the strong, independent woman, so to speak, because that's seen as being the pinnacle of womanhood in modern society, because that's what they've been indoctrinated.
Yeah.
That's what, and also belief, then the mistaken belief that that's what men want.
I know. They
Do
just
men
got
actually want that?
they've
They're
got
strong, independent
they,
woman.
They run the other way.
Yeah, I think you know what the men they're actually men that put down women as being doormats when they are saying, yeah, she's good wife material, she'll be able to cook for you and all that. I want to have. I don't want someone to just be playing gender roles. I don't want someone just to know how to cook. I want someone to have a conversation, have her own life, and so forth. Yeah, so you see, so it's confusing messages to women as well. And those men that say they want a strong, independent woman, I guess they confuse being strong and independent with being
Controlling bitch.
Yeah, with actually
A bossy bitch that controls every aspect of your life.
Yeah, you know what? Being having skills, her own level of skills that one could hold a conversation with him, and secondly, would be able to help him.
Yeah.
I guess there's confusion amongst men as well when themselves.
Yeah.
They misinterpret. They say.
Yeah, I mean, what would be attractive to a man for a woman's position? If you were a woman now, a young woman looking for a guy, well, for the most part, what do most women look to do? Get longer nails, longer eyelashes, poutier lips, bigger boobs, better ass, higher heels. They're looking for all the wrong places. Yeah. The consumerization of this world, the materialism of the world has got them thinking that, the reason why you haven't got a man is because your heels are not high enough.
Or your boobies are not high enough.
Etc. And so therefore we're locked into this manipulated vision, you see.
Yeah. And so that is a sad thing, really. That women think that's what men really want. Whereas men want a woman that's authentic, really. Look, have confidence and, that, you know what? I think I'm putting it to you, a man, a woman that knows her worth.
That's the
attractive.
Key. That is so attractive.
Yeah, rather than someone I'm strong, independent, I don't need anyone.
You know, what's not attractive
I know what I'm worth,
is the war paint.
And self-centeredness.
The nails and all of that things.
Self-centeredness.
Because it's all focused on the self.
Yeah. Rather than being...
Yeah, they want to be the center of attention,
you
see. That's why they're dressing themselves up for, look at me, and they try to become that attractiveness.
So I guess there is...
But what they don't realize is what is the real attractiveness to a man. See, what's the real attractiveness? For example, if the woman has a skill set that has, it's so admirable. It's like, she's done this, she's done that, she's doing this, she's doing that. She's got all these things going on, and that's attractive to a man.
Yeah, what she can do. I mean, rather than
But as long as it's not based upon the principle of she can do all that, that means that I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
I can sit down and watch the footy of thing.
Footy thing, okay.
So, what's attractive to a man, I think we've got the roles wrong. We haven't really got the rule book for it.
Yeah.
And we presume, you see, it's not because, I'm not, my nails are not long enough and all the rest of it.
Yeah. So I really, I'll tell you a story of someone that, so when, he told me about this. He said, he's been dating and he's been married, and he was married, but his wife was never. He missed being served.
He missed being served.
Served his food.
Oh, right.
Because he'll look and see other women, particularly he'll look at Asian culture, he'll look at the women serving the men, and he was looking at that, and he was like starving for that sort of being treatment. And that's all.
Has to wait till his birthday.
What? just being served at dinner time, being served rather than you can fix your own, you get your own food.
Yeah, it's in the microwave. Yeah,
Or if you can get your own
because
food.
women come from the premise of the nurturing, you see.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I remember, like, nurses and whatever. Men fall in love with nurses.
Yes.
You know why? Because they come and they, you know, they take their, are you okay? And how are you feeling today? And
And they just lap it up because it feels so wonderful.
it feels so amazing. Feels so amazing that someone's there to nurture and care.
Yeah.
You know, nurturing and caring, that femininity.
Yeah.
You see. So I think that's what's missing in society these days, is that, one, men have lost the ability to be manly.
Yeah.
And two, women have lost the ability to be feminine.
And
And the roles have been crisscrossed and mishmashed.
and people don't know what to do anymore.
And has that been done by design?
Yeah.
You see. Well, if you look at why we take a lot of information from movies, TV. Where do we get our information about who we should be, how we should act, how we should dress, what we should talk like? A lot of it comes from these places.
Look, you know, regarding dating, look, emotional intimacy is quite rare now in dating. I mean, and on the other hand, sexual access is common. I was saying, expecting sex within the first few dates, so forth. And, you know, there are men like saying, oh, I paid for dinner. Yeah, and they think that they should have sex with that.
Or the waiter brings the bill out and then he asks if he's going to pay the whole... Oh, no, let's move on from that. I don't want to go there.
Well, personally, I'll pay the bill and then bye-bye. Sayonara.
Yeah.
You too. That's all I need to know about you.
That's right. Yeah.
And so this is the thing. We've removed all the risks from dating, but at the same time, all of the rewards as well. So, you know, because the risk of dating, if it doesn't turn out there, you can go with someone else.
Yeah.
You know, find someone else.
Which is easy enough.
You know, easy enough in these days. But because of that, you've lost all the rewards from it, you know, the connection, the permanency.
Yeah.
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 And the ultimate reward is as to what it could be. A marriage. A strong marriage. And this is the thing, you know, high value men want marriage. Don't they? So where are they?
They do.
High value men are normally more conservative men. What's a high value man?
Yeah, it depends what a high... Yeah.
You know, they actually have the mentality of being a protector. Yeah? And a provider.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are normally conservative men. You do not see a soy boy saying, I want to be a provider.
But a lot of that kind of person would also be labelled as a smart man, perhaps?
Yeah, a smart, high value man.
Yeah.
Going places, you know, you got money into
And usually
business.
smart men can see things that occur prior to them occurring.
and
that's perhaps why they, you know, they put their big toe in the water before they jump in the pool.
Is it right for me to say that many men do want commitment, but not chaos?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. And also what follows behind it, for example, you know, like if man gets married and men and women get married, most men are aware of this now because we've heard so many stories. When men get together and they're all drinking beer or whatever, it's a lot of these stories come up. Oh, and this guy now he's sleeping in his car. You know, he's like, his wife and his family and his children or whatever are now with another daddy. You know, someone else is in his pajamas. And he's sort of like, he's sleeping in the back of his van, you know, type of thing. And that's so common these days. You know, so...
Unfortunately, it's true.
That's right. And and if man reneges on his obligations, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah.
If a woman reneges on her obligations in a marriage, it's, she gets the house and she gets and she gets to be supported forever. So there was an old saying I heard that said that what's a woman's best way of making vast wealth is to get divorced.
You know, many women in their 40s normally don't own property, single women, unless it's from a divorce settlement.
Yeah. And then they all usually say there's that, oh, I just, I just can't find myself, or they make up some frivolous excuse why they can't continue on with a relationship based upon their feelings of, oh, I'm not expressing the fullness of my life purpose or something like that. And so that's what's scary to men. It's so scary, and if you just jump in willy-nilly, you could end up ruining your life, and your motivation and everything. And so that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
that's for men. That's the problem for men.
Yeah, and also like they're turned off by modern dating games, aren't they? Loud feminist tones, or women who compete instead of connect.
Body counts.
Body counts as well. That's a big thing.
It's a big thing, man.
Modern thing about body counts. And, the criticism of men that get turned off by high body counts is saying, oh, you're just insecure and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay,
I remember once there was this beautiful French girl with an accent that could melt butter. And she was so good looking. And her and I were really close and all the rest. Well, it came one day, and then she was lying there and she said, oh, and she was only young. And she had said that she'd had 180 different lovers. And at that moment, I jumped back on my chair.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw her again.
Okay, now the big question all these women want to know is why.
She shouldn't have said the body count after that. And then, you know what I did? I went to her best friend.
Yeah.
I says, guess what just happened? He says, I was with this beautiful girl. Look at her. She's so amazing. Wow. And we were thinking, and she was such a lovely person. And then she said, and then I told him, and he goes, oh, yeah, that would have done it for me too. I would have been right out of there as well. She was on 183 or something like that of body count. Yeah.
Yeah, look.
That was like, oh my God.
One, she's either proud of it. She doesn't think that
well, it's a liberalism. It's a liberalism. It's a new things,
Yeah, but now women in particular, want to know why it's a
turn-off.
Well,
is sex sacred? Or is it just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am?
Well, that's what men see it as a release more than anything else.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, for the most part, most men are like that. It's focused on some form of release.
Physicality rather than connection.
That's based on the self, really, isn't it? It's looking for your own. Like most relationships, in the sexual sense, anyhow.
Yeah.
Is almost like we're using the other person as a love mannequin. And it's like we're just focused on our own self, our own gratification, you see. And that's like a death, really, isn't it? Where's the intimacy? Intimacy. So it's like, I see inside of you. I can see your soul. I can see your very core of your very being. And then you become one with that, you see. If you can become one with that, then that's the specialness. Two become as one. Two people become like one person. If you can connect to that. But when we're in the mode of self, when we're so fixated on the self, what are about our own gratifications and so on, then that dissolves and diminishes. And, and I think that's the key underlying issue for all relationships.
But I guess now men are really turned off by all the feminist lines, reciting, I don't need a man, or I'm strong, independent, and so forth, and so forth. I'm not here to
you see these videos.
I'm not a doormat, so
you
forth.
See these videos where you've got a couple of guys in a radio station like this, with about 6 women around. They're all on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know what
they're all on
one.
OnlyFans. And
yeah, I know the one you're referring to.
You know how many of these young women are on OnlyFans that are in America?
Yeah.
The percentage is insane.
Because they see it as easy work.
Yeah.
Why get a waitressing job and just slave when you can? It's much easier.
Yeah. Yeah. But most of them, what do they do with the money? Buy handbags and
so
for
forth. And then,
$5,000.
And then that your career on OnlyFans is only going to be so long.
Yep.
Then after that,
then you're an old,
And then you're damaged. I mean, who'll want to marry you in later? They'll see you as
an old bag.
Yeah. So yeah, you haven't really answered the question of why it's off-putting. for a woman to have a high body count.
Why is it off-putting?
Putting,
Well,
yeah.
here's the
It's-
thing. When
I know why,
a
but
woman
women wants to see it.
receives that. A woman takes that on and is like, oh, do you want to be putting, you want to be
How
intimate?
all those
Who are
men
you being intimate with? One of the 183?
people that have
know?
been inside your body?
Yeah. People that have had that energy exchange. So there's an energy exchange with relationships. There's an energy exchange. So you take on the other person's energy, and women, there's no doubt about this, that women take on more of that energy
Yeah,
than
because
what
they're the
men
receiver.
do. Men
Yeah.
just discard or whatever,
Discard.
can throw a glass of water out of the cup, and it's still an empty cup. But when you start digging all your dirty fingers into the cup,
Yeah,
the water, that cup suddenly becomes dirty.
yeah,
You see, and it feels dirty.
Yeah.
It feels dirty. It's like, oh, well, not for everybody. Some people are just too insensitive that, and they go to visit these places where women of the night, bordellos or whatever. But it feels dirty, It feels horrible. Not from personal experience, but
I
it's
think
just,
about the energetics.
yeah,
Look, this
it's the
is
energetics.
this is great.
There's an energy between relationships, between man and woman. There's an energy,
And this is something for that we can cover a show on.
Yeah.
And this is also a thing I tell people that too many partners, yes, it affects women, it affects men as well, but it affects women more. No, the thing is, on a spiritual level and on an energetic level also, when you're intimate with someone, you're actually sharing your life force. And
sharing your life
yeah,
force.
and it's not good to share your life force with too many people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
it doesn't matter how many times you have sex. What
Yeah.
matters is how many people you
Have
do
you
it with.
noticed about the women of the night how old they look, how
Yeah.
quick?
It's like there's
It's
something being
like
sucked
they
out of them.
old. They become so old and ugly, and it's like,
Being
and it
sucked out
happens
of
so fast.
fast.
Why? Because the energy is being projected onto that person with the mindset of the man who's looking
that.
for his own release. He's almost like he's possessed in some way, and then you're dumping that energy onto the other person.
Yeah.
You see, so if you're intimate with a manic depressive, are you going to be joyously happy? If you're intimate with a schizophrenic mad person, like a psychotic schizophrenic, are you going to be in harmony? Are you etc. So we take energy from other people. Just walking around a shopping center, passing by people on the street, we're taking in energy all the time. Just imagine you're in a really good party and everything's all friendly and everybody's all, yeah, how you? And it's lovely. Parties are great when everybody's like that. And then walks all these skinheads with tattoos over their face and start with drinking beers and then kicking the tables over and then start swearing the top of the voice. What happens to the mood of the party? It's suddenly popped like a bubble.
Yeah.
It's like a pin going to a balloon, bang, and that's it. It's all over. Let's pack it up and let's, and so that it's energy. You see, it's energy. So if you're in a relationship with another person, how does that energy make you feel? You see, that's what's attractive. It's how you feel, what energy you feel with that person. When you meet somebody so amazing, you feel like you can walk on the air, yeah? You feel like you're walking, like you look down on the pavement to see if you're actually levitating.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're walking an inch off the ground, and everything is happy. It's like you see the wonderment of life. And then when that's pulled away, it's like the opposite. So
Yeah.
pretty amazing, this things of life, isn't it? Like these interrelationships.
Yeah.
Quite amazing.
So the thing is, people really need to date with marriage in mind. I mean, especially women, you're dating, you start with some clarity. I want marriage. I date with purpose. If you start off with that,
Yeah.
then that's what you'll get.
Yeah.
The same with men as well, so that you can, discard all the ones that you wouldn't marry, you wouldn't make the cut.
Yep.
That would not make a cut. So you eliminate time wasters early on, that's what you need to do. Like players, drifters. And
Yeah, well, you've got to be a
take-
competent observer
Yeah.
in life.
in life. You have to know what
You have
are
to see the little signs, the little
signs
tells.
someone is a player, and which
Yeah.
is going to be, you know what?
Yeah.
We'll do a show on that later as well. That is because people need to learn and need to know how to do it.
Oh,
So, revealing the tricks of wouldn't say the
tricks
trade.
of the trade.
Well, trade of what? Getting married. Okay, so you need
Well,
to
that would be
eliminate them
tricks
early.
of the paid.
Pay, yeah.
Not the trade, it's the paid.
So then you need to bond not over just chemistry or whatever. You need to bond over your shared values. Yeah. Sometimes
Well, you have to have common ground.
Yeah. Sometimes people want to be with someone that just like may have good chemistry, and people think that's compatibility, but it's not.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, opposites. Now, opposites will do attract, but can only work in certain circumstances. Normally, it doesn't work. So, and then I think I've touched on that in an earlier show, but I will can revisit that later as well. And you know what, women, I have to say, do not fear scaring him off with your standards. I mean, the right man will feel relieved. I'll tell you, this woman I met before, okay, and she was telling me about, when she met her husband, they met and were married within 6 months. How did she do that? Okay, where she had a goal in mind, she wanted to get married. And she wasn't interested in playing around or mucking around or wasting her time. So she meets someone, they'll date. After a few weeks, she's asking, is marriage coming? And if they're not strong with their answer as a yes, then no,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Then she goes find someone else. Doesn't want to waste her time. And finally, when she met her husband, after a few weeks, and then she brought it up again, and he was like, whoa, kind of thing. But they were married in 6 months. So it does work, ladies. And so this is one thing, ladies, you really have to think about yourself, your self-worth, and what your price is. So what will you accept? You have to put out that vibe, and if you do, then that's what you attract. Okay? So some tips for intentional dating. So it's ask better questions early on, and be clear, not cold, and show feminine softness, not masculine evaluation. So it's no matter what social media and these relationship experts or feminists say, a man at the end of the day still values feminine softness, even if he does not say it.
Well, that's
Even if everything in social media and so forth says the opposite, he wants a strong, independent woman.
that's one quality that he's supposed to not have.
Yeah.
So that's why, why would you want somebody like that if you're that way yourself?
Yeah, you've already got it.
And
Why would a right
and
hand?
why would a woman want a masculine man when she's already masculine?
Yeah, but women instinctively they act masculine, but it doesn't mean they want feminine effeminate men. they're not popular.
No.
They might have to hang around with
Friends.
Friend zone.
Yeah. Friend zone.
But you hardly ever see that
Yeah.
in practice. So so some thoughts and challenges on that. Modern dating tells that you need to keep your options open, don't they? But if you don't close the wrong doors, you'll never find the right one. Have a think about that, ladies. Okay?
What's behind that door?
That door, because, if you're dating, tell the next person you meet what you're really looking for. Okay? If you're frustrated, ask yourself, am I dating for connection or attention?
Dating rules they don't teach in schools.
Dating rules you don't teach in school, exactly. And now we're coming to another topic to cover.
Another
this
topic?
show. Yes.
How
and
many
this one,
topics can you come up with?
and this is very contemporary. Is what in this new
Are you going to be held in
world order.
contempt?
and it really is red love, blue love. Can conservatives and liberals make marriage work? And for those that don't understand red and blue, red meaning conservatives and blue meaning liberals or progressives. Liberals in the US, progressives, yeah. Everywhere. So, we'll explore whether couples with opposing political views can form lasting, loving marriages and what happens when values clash at the deepest level. So at the moment,
Well,
it's more
quite-
like it's a culture battle or more like a political. People are taking sides in this battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And there's like families and everything, like best friends and
people, people break up, people break in friendships, long-term friendships, or family members don't even speak to each other because now
of political affiliations.
political affiliations are. And what was it? I think after certain elections, people at Thanksgiving or Christmas, they don't want to speak to each other. Or decide not to come over for Christmas because they don't agree with how their parents voted,
Yeah.
for instance.
Never discuss politics or
Yeah.
religion.
And so, this is the adage. She's conservative. No, I should say he. Normally, it's a him that's a conservative and she's the liberal. They actually did a survey and studied that women were more liberal than men. Okay, the younger the women were, the more liberal they tended to be. Though not Gen Z. Gen Z is actually not as liberal as the millennials. I think the millennials were the most liberal. But anyway, if it's a case of he's conservative, believes in traditional marriage and wants to raise children with faith, and she's liberal, passionate about activism and thinks gender roles are outdated. So, can love conquer the political divide? Can a couple with this opposing views get together, or is it a slow-moving disaster? So the hard question, can conservatives and liberals date or even marry without destroying each other in the process? Politics, is it now the new deal breaker? Because, 20 years ago, even then, religion was the tough conversation, And people don't get married because differences in religions and different opposing views and that. But now it's politics. Have you noticed?
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's a deal breaker. And either you're conservative or liberal, when you hear a friend or something happen to reveal their true colours, so to speak, and start spouting that, I guess it also puts you in a difficult situation. Do you just go along with what they say, even though you don't believe in it, you believe in the opposite, or say nothing, let them continue ranting on,
Yeah.
or you actually argue with them?
Well, it depends on the position you're in.
Yeah.
If you're really wealthy and you've got things, you don't really need to
Basically,
suck up to anyone.
You don't give a...
Couldn't care less.
You couldn't care less.
If
You
they-
don't
if
give
they,
a damn.
If they like it or they don't. But I think the fundamental principle here, or the underlying principle here, is that we've really got to consider what's the source of our information? Where do we get these mindsets from? Where's this belief system coming from? Oh, red is better, blue is this, or whatever. Blue states, red states, or all and the rest of it. Where are we getting our information from? Where's the source of our information? And now, if you're in a relationship, a long-lasting relationship with a partner who has a dialectically opposing views than you, well, where you would, if you're in the same household, you would know where their information's coming from for the most part. They listen to CNN, they've got this mindset.
Yeah, they
They listen to
Fox.
Fox
It's
or
different.
Alex Jones, Infowars or something. It'll be
Different
different mindset.
So it depends on what they're exposed to, really.
And most places of these forms of media that are purporting their wares, they're really selling something, an ideology for you to follow them. It's almost like a cult in a way. It's like a cult following. They want you fixated on their channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Promise you won't go anywhere. Don't touch your remote, type of thing.
Yeah.
You see, so they want you in their club, and they don't want to let you out. And then what they'll try to, and they've got people who are brilliant psychologists who know about every moment of your attention span, basically.
Yeah.
How many minutes for the commercial.
Yeah.
It's all been worked out. You know what they say about a TV show?
What?
They say that on a TV series, I was in Hollywood for a bit of time, and they told me this. I was shocked. He says, if a TV show is like 45 minutes long, including with commercials, it's an hour or whatever. They said, within 11 minutes there's got to be a shooting. Within 6 minutes there's got to be tires screeching or something. I can't remember how he laid it out. Within 6 minutes has to be this, 10 minutes has to be this, 12 minutes has to be this, 15 minutes has to be this, and if it's not, the drop-off is insane.
People don't have the attention spans
People
anymore.
just drop right off and change to another channel or whatever. So we're given that information. Now they start to structure all their shows around that model, you see. And so are they doing the same with the political component, you see? So where does all our political differences come from? You see, we're all inherently good, are we not? And deep down in the core of our beings, we're all inherently good. It's not nobody wants to go out and hurt other people. Well, I know there's some schizophrenic nutcases out there. There's no doubt about that. The viciousness of man cannot be denied in some cases when you watch the news. But for the most part, most people are good, you see. And so most people, they don't want to have these, well, again, it just depends where you're getting your information from, really. Yeah. And if you're in a relationship with someone that you're living with every day, and you're with that person almost every day, then, for the most part, you'd be into the sort of the same things, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be around the breakfast table, or he did this, or he did that, or they did this, and they did that.
Yeah, you talk about it.
You talk about it. You
so
talk about it.
You've got
and
to
you come on the common ground of where what is real and true and what is good.
Yeah, because political values now signal core values, don't they? Values of truth, morality, freedom, and family roles. Yeah. So I guess if one partner was talking about that and their view, and then the other person with an opposing view, they've got a problem. Do they just go along with it and say, and just keep their true colours hidden?
Well, imagine if you were dating someone from a country who goes and bombs other people to bits, and they celebrate that. Yeah. And that shocks you to the core. You've seen something that goes, oh my God, how on earth could they do that to innocent people? Regardless of their, religious status or whatever, it's still another human being. We just can't go around and do that. But if you were dating someone from that country, and they were heavily proponent to that, it was almost like a soccer team sort of.
Then you have to think about whether or not should you continue.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing is, you've got to consider your own being. Will you be influenced?
Yeah. Eventually come around to
degradation. Will that
change you?
That's a big consideration. Well, there's a famous story in the Second World War, and there was these so-called Nazis who were horrified at the job they'd been given, that they had to process so many people every day. And they were at the beginning, this was documented, that they were horrified by that action. Yeah. And later, this is the concern. In the human psyche. Later on, they got over that aspect, and then later on they were looking at how many people they processed in a day and celebrating the fact that they'd meet a milestone. Yeah. Oh, we've done this many people now. They went from a position of somewhat of a moral compass pointing, and then now. Degraded, or even say become so used to it
What's
that you
the other
become
word?
numb.
Numb from it.
Yeah. You become numb from it. And that is a horrible, horrible consideration. Happened to me. I was in India for about 10 weeks. I was living in a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
I looked out the window opposite and there was kids on a rubbish tip looking through the rubbish for a scrap of food to eat.
Wow.
And I was shocked to the core of my being that children were sleeping on that rubbish all night long.
Yeah.
Outside my 5-bedroom window with lavishness and a banquet
Buffet
for
of
everything, every desire that I ever wanted or whatever to enter my mouth was there, type of thing. You see, while kids were outside that window barely 50 meters away, starving, looking for an apple core
Yeah.
that somebody had discarded so that they could just,
Just at least get some.
Now, the
eat
worry
something.
for me was that shocking experience,
Yeah.
after a few weeks or a short period of
Yeah.
time, I'd already accepted it as the normal, and I had no longer had any more reaction to it. And I caught myself. It was like, oh my God, what happened? How could I have been such a reverse in polarity? One moment I was horrified of these children being hungry while I'm thinking, and then the next moment it was accepted. And I never paid much more mind to it. And then I thought, oh, I've got to get out of here. Yeah. So that's what we've got to be careful of as well. And so in the political side of things. So, yeah. It's tricky, isn't it? Oh, it's so tricky.
It is, but you know what? People aren't just disagreeing with each other anymore. They're actually rejecting each other.
Punching on.
Rejecting, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's no longer. It's like you like chocolate, I like vanilla. It's now like you support evil, I support good, kind of thing. And it's getting very personal. And everyone from opposing views, they actually think they are right and have a more higher moral ground.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Everybody feels that they're the one that's right.
Yeah, in
every
the right,
religion
in the more
thinks
higher.
that every religion thinks that they're the best one. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They all think they're the best one, and everybody else has got it wrong.
Yeah.
And then also in the political sense as well, we all think, oh yeah, we know it more than anybody else. How you know?
Yeah.
And basically what it comes down to is, what's the source of our information? Where did it come from? What agenda was behind it?
Of course.
Because it could be the same subject matter, exact same subject matter. You could have the same moral principles between the two people, same moral principles, but yet we get given different news feeds with influences that can create an absolute opposite polarity of consideration.
Yeah. It is.
Very tricky.
Yeah. And so, you know, you end up with real conflicts in mixed politics couples there.
Mixed communications.
Yeah,
and resentments.
Resentments, yeah.
Yeah. How can you not see what I see? How can you be so heartless? How can you think?
And you know how it plays out? It plays out, and it's like one wants to teach kids about gender fluidity, the other wants them to have biblical roles.
Yeah. How does that work?
How does that work?
One wants them to be cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And be transgender
The
or
other
whatever.
one- yeah,
and the other
other
one
one
wants them to be at church on Sunday or, you know, and helping to feed the homeless.
Yeah.
Or some moral standpoint.
Moral standpoint, you know, learning.
So, you know, if that's in a family,
that's the problem. You're going to have a big problem.
With children. Well, the mother always usually gets the say, doesn't she? I mean, you know.
You know, you're going to have one that believes in self-reliance and traditional masculinity, and the other one calls it toxic. What are you teaching your son? You're teaching him to be a rapist, are you?
There was people in America that got jailed. Some men got jailed because they wouldn't accept them. They wouldn't sign off on the papers of the child to be to transgender
surgery.
He's not allowed to vote till he's 21. He can't drink an alcohol beer.
But he can decide.
Can't drive a car.
Whether or not to cut
off.
off.
But he can cut off his willy. You know.
He can decide that.
Yeah. And you know, there was somebody that said once, went to a grandmother, says, oh, I want all my children to be transgendered. And he says, and there was one who was going to get an operation, a young child, like 12 or 14, or I can't remember the age, but it was way too young anyhow. And she said, oh, yeah, it's like if they choose to do that, and I can't remember the verbiage, but it was along the lines of, and the point of the story was, that it came up, the man says, oh, would you allow your 14-year-olds to go and get tattoos? Oh, no way in the world would they be allowed to get tattoos. And the person says, why not? He says, because they're permanent. Tattoos, once you got one, you can't get rid of it. You can't go and wash it off in the shower. Once you've got a tattoo, that's it. You're stuck with it till you're 80. You know, it could be on your shoulder. It could be on your shoulder, and then by the time you're 80 years old, it'd be on your backside.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, so that's too permanent. But what is a sex change? And this woman looked, she was shocked. It was like a deer in the headlights. So it's like, oh my God, I've just been found out to how stupid I sound.
Yeah, but
How stupid I sound.
But did she realize, accept how stupid she was being?
Yeah, but imagine marrying someone like that and having children with them.
So you really
having
have
children
to
with
think
them, and what you've got to do is just bite your lip and accept it with the children that you love, and you know that their life is ruined. You know that that's it. And you know what? Most of them are all manic depressives. You know, and it's like because they can't figure out where they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to act, or who they're supposed to be in this world. So they end up, you know, that's reflecting in forms of depression and etc. So, oh dear, all in all.
I got this soapbox.
When's the music break coming?
You know, or one wants the wife to stay home with the kids, and the other one wants a full career equality kind of thing. And then, you know, what you have is holidays, schools, and social circles. They all become battlegrounds. Whose social circle you're going to mix in. One partner, don't want to, you know, have anything to do with your friends. They all be in barbecue guys. Ugh, that's a toxic masculinity. And one said, I don't feel like going to the next LGBT meeting with you. And support of that. And about the parents, I saw a meme before. It's especially its mothers affected. The meme said that with a woman with her child, with her son, and then she goes, "I'm the only one in my yoga class without a transgender child. Stop being selfish. Now come on."
No.
But that, you know, it was a meme.
Yeah,
but it's highlighted.
That's a meme.
Yeah, but that is
Phew.
actually common. I'll say, I think that actually happens. And the women that actually want their son, it's kind of like they feel like they're not in the in crowd.
You see it a lot, you know, that when the
Once
child is
social acceptance-
transgender, you can see that the mother is usually is influencing.
Yeah.
And I remember watching, actually, it was like a young person talking, and then mother was nudging them. You know, it was pre-rehearsed. It was pre-rehearsed. So, imagine marrying that.
Yes.
And so
you have to really think about who.
That's why you've got to be so observant.
The mother or the husband or the father that you're giving to your children. You have to think about that too.
Yeah. So how do you catch people out? If you're dating someone and they don't reveal, like, if I have children, when they're 10, I want them to have a sex change. Well, they might have that in their mind.
They might have in mind,
and they just don't tell it on about it.
You know,
how do you find it? How do you locate that? How do you know?
You know? Probably the easiest way is talking about politics.
Yeah.
And then you see the person's
you bring it out.
You bring it out.
Either that or get them drunk on red wine. La bebida de verdad. It means the drink of truth, apparently. So that means everything will come out.
When it comes to politics, people can't...
They can't keep it,
They can't keep it. They can't keep it. They need to arc up.
Yeah.
So that's probably that's the easiest way to discuss it.
Because once they get into a reaction, you see, it's the reaction mode and the emotional mode.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's it's so important for a marriage partner. If you're looking for someone as a marriage partner, you've got to know how easily is that person reactive. Do they lose it at the slightest thing? Or can they handle chaos, like a tornado of chaos coming at them, and remain relatively calm and figure it all out? Or do they lose their shit, start screaming their heads off and, you know, making everybody's life a misery? But it's so important.
Yes, it is true.
Imagine being with someone and you walking on eggshells because you're scared if they go into reaction or not.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Yeah.
Your family, and at home is where it's like your refuge, your sanctuary. You need you. That's where you're able to relax and be yourself.
Yeah, and
But
you'll notice that if you go to their family gatherings, you'll notice a lot of things there.
Yeah, you already know.
Are they in humor? Are they really funny? Do
Well,
they
the first thing
treat
you
each other with kindness?
Your first thing you can tell is whether or not your in-laws are married.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first go at how long they've been married.
Is that right?
Well, you think about it. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Well,
if they put one, they actually bothered to get married, and secondly, if they've continued being married for a long time, it's not the father-in-law and his second wife, the stepmother, things like that.
Yeah.
There's stability in there.
There's stability there.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's the first thing.
Yeah. So if the parents are divorced, is that a red flag?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, is it? Yeah. But it keeps your eyes open, doesn't it?
It keeps your eyes open for you to do more observations.
More observations, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The observants, they think, and they're encouraging their kids and what they think of their kids' progress, the type of careers their kids are doing as well.
What kind of career?
Yeah, whether or not they support that type of career.
Yeah.
Or you might have the potential mother-in-law saying, about her son. All he does is he wants to be a musician. He plays on the drums all day. I really want him to get a real job. That tells you the mindset that she's got versus, my son, did you hear his latest album? That he put out. Oh, well, has he gotten platinum? He said, no, he hasn't made any money yet, but it doesn't matter as long as he enjoys himself. That'll really tell you. Responses like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. With the rules they don't teach in the schools.
Absolutely. So is compromise possible, or will it be dangerous?
Oh.
Can two worldwide views coexist without one person feeling erased or censored? You know what? When you build a home, you need a shared foundation, don't you? You can disagree on your favorite movies, but not on what makes a man or a woman. not on the definition. You cannot disagree on. So, you can disagree on the small things. It's fine, but not on the big things. Like you like chocolate ice cream, he likes vanilla ice cream, but not about things like transitioning children, things like that. You can't. So this is something I'll ask the audience. I mean, would you raise your child with values you don't believe in just to keep the peace? That's a
Depends
big
on who
question.
you are and what position in life you are. If you're vulnerable, then sometimes you got to take anything that goes. Really.
Yeah. I guess it's always
beggars can't be choosers, is the old adage.
If you're in a strong position or not. Unfortunately, it should not be the case, but unfortunately, it is true.
Yeah.
And what actually matters in a lasting marriage? I mean, the main, one of the three factors I keep saying that you need to match on is values. And values nowadays has personified into shared politics. Do you have the same political views, which now is representative of your values, isn't it? Or you're conservative or progressive / liberal. So it's important because, do you agree on roles in the home, children's education and discipline? Do you believe in discipline, or like, you've got to treat them like individuals, they have their own minds and so forth and thing. So it's a way of raising children.
Well, the way of raising children seems to have radically changed over the last, when I remember growing up. We used to always walk to school, and it was always...
it was a case of spare the rod and spoil the child, wasn't it? You heard of that saying?
No.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. No, I said, you spoil them by hitting them. You can't. You have to rod, you scar them for life, and then they'll be traumatized and have all these mental health issues later on, and so forth and so forth. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it was Clint Eastwood that said this is like a pussy generation or cotton ball generation. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Glenn was old school.
Yeah, where's the tough men gone?
Tough men gone. And also, gender roles and spiritual leadership as well.
But some men were a bit nuts as well.
Yeah.
Going like decades ago, growing up in Scotland, it was a bit nuts.
It was?
It was so aggressive. There was fights every day. It was just, what are you looking at? Hey, you, what are you looking at? Hey, get your head.
Were they actually trying to look for a fight? It's
They're looking for fights.
Fights, so more like...
Well, maybe because it was the society in them days didn't have iPhones. We didn't have YouTube. There was no internet. It was like, let's fight.
It needs some entertainment. Okay. Or it's a case of everyone's trying to muscle to be the alpha.
Yeah, everybody wants to be the alpha.
Everyone wants to be the alpha.
Yeah.
But the alpha, it doesn't mean fists. Doesn't make a man.
No, it's intelligence. You've got to be intelligent.
You know what it is? It's being able to make the hard decisions and
intelligence.
Deal with difficult situations. Okay, resolve difficult situations. It doesn't necessarily mean intelligence, because sometimes resolving difficult situations mean you
figure it out.
No, you need to do things that are not necessarily pleasant. That you if you had the chance, you wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, but you got to figure it out first.
But figure it out, but then have the balls to do it. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
not about figuring out and, okay, let someone else do it. So that's not being an alpha.
Well, you can always give instructions.
Give instructions to who? Other people to do it. Why? Because you're too scared to do it yourself.
Or you're too busy or occupied in other things. It's not your role.
If you're alpha, if you've got money to hire people to do it, you figure it out, and you've got
I want a new wall over there, and so the bricklayers come. You ring up a bricklaying company, and they come and say, "I want a wall down that side down there." You're given instructions. Yeah, they do the job.
No, okay. This is what I mean by do the difficult things. Okay, and then. You need to go, if go and inspect, you're not happy with that, you need to have the balls to voice it and possibly start an argument with the bricklayer. Do you get me? Right. This is the part where it's not necessarily, you have the balls to do something that's not particularly pleasant.
Yep.
Which, get into conflict with people.
Sure.
Yeah. Rather than, okay, I don't like that. Oh, can you tell him I don't like that? Can you tell him off for me? Yeah. Okay, can you correct that?
Yeah, we've got to be brave.
Yeah. See, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being the alpha. So do things that are not necessarily pleasant to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Good point.
So, other thing is, freedom of expression. I mean, are you able to express yourself freely, or do you then have to, conform with your partner's ideological, go along with them, so to speak? Because people think opposites attract. Opposites might attract if both people deeply respect each other's values and have non-negotiables defined. You believe in that? Okay, good for you. But I am free to believe in this. Okay, so that way you can create a framework for discussing conflicts without identity attacks. But, this is a big but, if your vision of the future doesn't match, meaning your goals doesn't match,
it's about
then
goals.
Your marriage will be at war with itself.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
You've got to have goals.
You got to have goal. You have to have this shared goals. Doesn't mean that I have this goal and she has a goal separately. Her goal, I want to build a foundation, a family, a foundation, have stability, and your partner just wants to run off overseas or move every few years.
One wants to live in a farm situation, rural, live in organic foods and live in a healthy sort of lifestyle with no stress. And the other one maybe want to live in the city go to the 9 to 5 or do the corporate job and live in an apartment.
Yeah, even an apartment, because they don't want to do the work. They need the social.
Focused on the career.
On the social. Okay, and mostly they don't want to do the work and the quietness of the other lifestyle. They want to be in the middle of a hip and happening and all the socials.
But the
you know,
good
meet
thing
up
is
with
we
them.
all like different things, and
Yep.
otherwise, if we were all the same, it would be a bit boring, wouldn't it?
Like I said, there's someone for everyone. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to match it with that. I mean, like love is powerful, but not blind. You
Love
know.
is powerful, but not blind.
You know.
I see,
So,
said the blind man, when he could not see at all.
you know. The thing is, so we are coming towards the end of the show.
Already? How does
Yes,
it go by so
yes.
fast?
So this
Are
has
we in
been.
agreement?
We are in agreement. Yeah, it goes by so fast. And today,
But why you keep kicking me under the table?
yeah, today we've covered dating. People have not been taking it seriously. People have been dating it as entertainment rather than with purpose. And if you don't date with a purpose, then you're not going to find anyone serious.
Yeah.
If that's what you aim for. If you in your heart, like for most women, they're dating to try to find someone to have a family with. Yeah, you have a family, build a foundation, and marry. And when you date, then you have to have that in mind. And it's better for women be honest, be upfront in the beginning. I know you're afraid. Lots of women are afraid that he'll run off, would scare him off. But you need to be your authentic self. And if you keep doing that, otherwise, if you keep being fearful of him running off when you express what you really desire, then find someone else. Stuff him.
Next.
Next. it's a go.
But
Otherwise, you won't find the person.
But the worry is
marry
that
with.
you next becomes a repetitive.
Yeah.
You seem to always be going next. Next,
Because
next,
they're all the
next,
same.
next,
You have to be
next,
honest. Like,
next.
but it's just like that woman I told you. She was up front after a few weeks. Where's this going? Is this going to marriage? No. Next.
But did it last?
Well, she found someone.
Yeah, you
that-
got the person to sign the contract.
Yeah.
But
3 kids.
3 kids. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it lasted. Okay? Because you're both on the same mind,
Yeah.
on the same page. And it's talking about the same page. You need to find someone. Look, we've been going through it, whether or not the people on the right and the left can not just coexist, but have a relationship and a marriage. What are your thoughts on that? Your conclusion? Yes
Not
or
quite
no?
sure. Not quite sure. It's hard to say.
To be honest, I'm going to say it. I'll say...
You say it first.
I'll say shelve it. Or I say let it pass next. It is not worth it. Because
Or unless you're really good at communicating and you...
doesn't matter, because then you're going to have conflicts on how to raise your child, are you?
Yeah.
What's up of
But
values
people's
and how-
perspectives change,
Yeah,
don't
and
they?
how
Like
they
the one minute
operate.
you've got this belief system, and then a year later it's opposite, or it's radically changed.
Yes, but I'm going to leave this. I mean, marriage isn't just about hearts, how I feel about you or whatever. It's about homes. It's about children. It's about legacy.
Well, the rub of love wears off, does it not?
Yeah.
So
And-
you get into that euphoric state. Oh, I love you, and honeymoon state. Woohoo! We can't, can't live without you, and all that stuff. And then the next thing
Yeah.
it doesn't take that long before
No.
the rub of love wears
off.
off. And
And
for the most part, most people have resentments.
Because can you really build a life with someone who sees the world in a way you never can, really? And if you are dating, ask your partner, what are your core values? And if you're married, reflect, do we disagree politically or fundamentally? Very important questions. Okay? Let me know what you think by leaving your comments on my Facebook page. I have 2 Facebook pages, Miss Dragonfly,
So
and
you
also
so you're two-faced.
Make Marriage Great Again, different faces. Please follow both if you can, but at least follow one, because I do post different things on the pages. I mean, the Miss Dragonfly page, I'll post things regarding the show. And Make Marriage Great Again is where I post all the clips of the show. So visit both, And if there's anything you'd like me to cover, then feel free to leave it there as well. Okay. And what your comments on what you think of the show. I'm going to thank you so much for joining me again today, Bluey.
That's all
And
right.
hope you
I
come back
seem
next
to be
time.
learning more and more.
But what I'm going to leave everyone with is think about this. I'm going to close with this is the Relationship Whisperer show. Okay, this is the Relationship Whisperer. I'm Miss Dragonfly, and I believe marriage is still worth fighting for. So let's make marriage great again.
Dun, 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 dun.
And on that, remember to tune in same time next week. And until then, it's bye for now.
Bye.